Yes, the first question is, who are these migrants? These are the people fleeing their countries, war-torn countries, people who are looking for protection elsewhere. Look at Libya. We have violence in Libya. Rebels have taken over the city of power. In Central African Republic, sectarian violence is going on. Where we reported thousands of deaths. South Sudan are also having, political war where government and police and the rebel leaders are fighting. Civilians are always the casualties. What is making these people to run away is that they are looking for safety elsewhere. For the fact that some people will be forcefully taken down to Turkey, I don't think it will stop people from running away from war-torn countries to seek international protection elsewhere. It will rather encourage some of them to take more dangerous routes like Libya, water down to Italy, and looking for. Even some will say it's better we even stay in Turkey rather than waiting in our countries and die. Apart from people who are actually fleeing as a result of war in the countries, other people again that also run because of political persecution as well. So if you ask me, well, it may reduce the huge influx, but I doubt it whether it will put absolute end to migration to Europe.
But does it seem fair that the EU is leaving it up to Greece and Turkey to deal with the bulk of the refugee crisis?
The question everyone is asking at the moment is why Turkey? Simply because we understand that it's easier to get to Turkey than from Turkey to Greece, and from Greece, the northern part of the Greece is like an open door to Sweden and Germany. But the question is, why Greece? Because thousands of Syrians in Turkey at the moment, there is a report that some of them are being exploited in Turkey. Some Syrians who are already in Turkey, there are reports that some of them are being arrested, being detained without access to lawyers, without access to their relatives. We also know the local human rights issues affecting Turkey. We've heard about Kurdish separatists, the issues they're having with Turkish government at first as a result of its human rights issues. And it is also appearing again that this is more of a political show based on the consideration that the European Union will furnish as far as having Turkish government to be the refugee camp for the Europe. They've promised them 6 billion euros. They promised them that they will continue now to accelerate the talk of European membership. And then, of course, this Schengen visa will now be given to Turkish citizens to enjoy Schengen visas. If you look at the consideration based on what is very crucial at this moment, you will also see that it has political nexus. And people are wondering that why coming this way when all promises have been made, assurances have been made that, for example, like the German Chancellor Angela Merkel promises earlier that Germany will actually be of help and do everything possible to support the migrants. But now, putting everything into the hands of Turkey and with also the stringent requirements that those found on Turkish water will be forcefully taken back to Turkey is giving a lot of people serious concern.
Finally, Adeola, one of the terms of the agreement says that for every Syrian resettled in the EU, one will be sent back to Turkey. Knowing that thousands are traveling as families, do you think the EU is unfair, not considering the families could be torn apart because of this deal?
I would say that it may reduce the huge influx to Europe, but I doubt it whether it will put a total end to it, simply because there will always be issues. There will always be war. There will always be conflict. People are fleeing their countries and seeking international protection. Some of these people from Syria, from Iraq, from Afghanistan are not actually going on the voyage of tourism. We are aware of what is happening in Syria. Even in Africa, sectarian violence in Central African Republic, We have serious issues in Liberia where rebels have taken over the city of power. The same thing is also happening in the South Sudan where rebels are fighting the government in place, and defenseless people are always the casualties. And some of these people always want to look for a better place to run for their dear lives. So there will always be issues. People will always want to run away. But I think these agreements will now make people to look for more dangerous avenue, for example, like Libya, to get to Europe. Because if you say that people will not actually run or things will not happen, political persecution will not happen, people will not seek asylum, then that means we are deceiving ourselves.
Now, you need to also know that as part of the deal, the EU and its member states will work with Turkey in any joint endeavor to improve humanitarian conditions inside of Syria, in particular in certain areas near the Turkish border, which would allow for the local population and refugees to live in areas which will be more safe. What's left now is to see how this all pans out. Let us know what you think. Talk to us on facebook.com/diplomatic channel or at CTV_Amara_Ubani. I am Amarachi Ubani. I'll see you next time.